I'm going to show you how to make these really sweet little puff flowers. You can see I've already made a couple here. They make really nice embellishments for hats or any sort of project, but you can also join them together just as they are and make a scarf or blanket or anything like that, but I will do a separate video on how you can join them together. But this one will just be how to make the flowers themselves. So you're going to want two different colours of yarn. Obviously you can use any colours that you like. I'm just going to use this yellow and pink. So you're going to want to start off with a slip knot, and as always, if you're not sure how to do that, then just nip and check out my Absolute Beginner series, and there's a nice tutorial there for you. Sorry, the cat's walking across the table. So we want to start with a chain of 4, so yarn over and pull through. That's 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we want to close this up now into a circle. So this very first stitch just here before your slip knot, you want to insert your hook into that stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch. So you want to yarn over and pull through both of those loops. And that has created now a small circle for us to work our stitches into. So you want to chain 1, and then we're going to do 12 double crochets into this centre circle. Now remember, that's UK double. In the US this is your single. So you want to go into the middle of the circle here that we've just created. So you're going to insert your hook into the centre of that circle. Then you're going to yarn over and pull up, and you'll have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through both. So that is 1. And then again into that centre circle. Yarn over and pull up. And yarn over, pull through both. That's 2. And like I say, you want 12 altogether. So if you want to carry on doing that, and then I will meet you in just a second. So I've just done my 12th and final double crochet, and we're now going to join this round together. So we did a chain 1 at the beginning, which is just here on the side of this stitch just there. So we're going to ignore that, and we're going to go straight into the top of that very first double crochet that we did just here. So you want to insert your hook into the top of that stitch, making sure that you get the V across the top there, and slip stitch. So yarn over, pull through both loops on your hook. Chain 1, and then we're going to snip off this colour, and then you just want to pull that out and pull it tight. And that there is our centre circle done, ready to start our petals. Now if you've worked in your tail end around the centre as you went, you can snip that off now. If not, then just weave it in around that centre circle very quickly. It just gives you one less end to think about and get in the way when you're doing your petals. So I'm going to attach my new colour now, and I'm going to do it just into the stitch where we finished off. So I'm going to join my new colour into that very last stitch that I did before I finished off. So that stitch just there next to that knot. I'm going to grab my new colour. I'm going to pull that new colour through my stitch, and I'm just going to just tie on just in a single knot. And then I'm going to hold both of those ends to the left, and I'm going to work them in as I go around. So I'm going to pop my hook straight into that stitch again and grab the yarn and pull it up. And now we're ready to start our petals. So you want to start by chaining 3. So 1, 2 and 3. And so that is going to count as the first part of our puff stitch. So to start the puff stitch now, you want to yarn over, and you're going to insert back into that very same chain space that we've just come up from. And you want to keep this nice and loose now. You don't want to be holding anything too tightly. And you're going to grab that yarn and pull it up. And you want to pull it up to reach the height of your chain 3. So these are going to be very long stitches. So that now is counting as 2 stitches, our chain 3 and our first loop for our puff stitch. Yarn over, go back into that same space again, yarn over and pull up, and again you want to pull nice and tall. So that now is counting as 3 stitches into that very first space. And then we want to move across now into the top of the next stitch, which is this stitch just here after the knot. And we're going to do 3 parts of our puff stitch in that stitch. So you're going to yarn over, insert into that next stitch along, yarn over, pull up again nice and tall. So that's 1, yarn over, go back into that same space that we just went into, yarn over and pull up, that's 2, and 1 more, so yarn over, back into that same chain space, yarn over and pull up nice and tall, and that's 3. You then want to yarn over and turn your hook right down so that it's facing your thumb here, and then you're going to pull it through all of those stitches, and then you want to chain 2, so 1 and 2, and then we're going to move into the next stitch along, which is this stitch just here. You want to pop your hook into that stitch, and you want to do this bit quite tightly. You want to yarn over and slip stitch, so you're going to pull through both of those loops. So now straight out of this next stitch that we're into, you want to chain 3, and you're going to start your next petal in the exact same way. So we've done the chain 3, which counts as the very first part, and then you want to yarn over and go back into that very same space, yarn over and pull up nice and tall, and 1 more into this stitch, yarn over and pull up nice and tall. So you remember you do your chain 3 and 2 parts of your puff stitch all into 1 stitch, and then 3 in parts of the puff stitch into the next stitch. So we're going to yarn over and insert into the next chain along now, and then pull up, that's 1, back into the same space, that's 2, back into the same space again, and pull up, and that's 3. So you've got your chain 3 and 2 parts of your puff stitch in 1 space, and then 3 parts of your puff stitch in the next, and then again yarn over and pull through all of those loops, chain 2, and then go down into the next chain, which is just here, and do this bit quite tightly. You're going to do a slip stitch, so yarn over, pull through both of those loops, and then again you're going to start your next petal. So I'll do this next one with you, and then I will leave you to do the next 3 on your own. So again, I'm still working those ends as I go round, but I will snip them after this next petal. So chain 3, and then first 2 parts of your puff stitch, so yarn over, insert it back into that same space, yarn over and pull up nice and tall, yarn over, insert back into the same space, and again pull up nice and tall, and then you're going to move across into your next stitch and do the next 3 parts of your puff stitch. So that's 1, 2, and 3, and then yarn over, pull through all of those loops, chain 2, and then before I slip stitch down this 3rd petal, I'm just going to snip off those 2 ends, and then I'm going to go into the next stitch as normal and slip stitch to pull that petal down, and then I am ready to start my next petal by doing the chain 3. So if you want to pause or rewind if you want to, and then I will meet you just as you finish off the 6th petal. So I've completed my 6th petal just here, and I've done my chain 2, and I've got 1 chain left just there. So you want to slip stitch down into that final chain. And then you could finish off here if you want to, but I don't like that I can see that yellow part of the last chain. So I'm just going to slip stitch again, but across into the base of that first petal that we did. So I'm just going to insert my hook at the base of that petal and slip stitch once again. And then chain 1 to fasten off. Pull that through and then just pull that nice and tight. And so we've snipped off all of the other ends that we've done. So we just need to fasten in this end here. Pop my yarn on my needle, and I'm just going to go along the base of the petal and pull that through, and then along the base of the next petal as well. And I'm just going to snip off. And now obviously this is the back of your puff petal. Puff flower, I mean it does look really sweet just on its own obviously, but when you turn it over you can see the effect that you get with those stitches on the other side, which looks really pretty. So that is it for the puff flower itself. Like I say, I will do another little tutorial to show how you can join all of these together if you wanted to create some other sort of project. You could do a table runner or a scarf. Like I say, you can just lie them all next to each other and then you would stitch them together at the back. So I will do another video to show you how to do that. But I really hope that you've enjoyed this puff flower tutorial. And if you did, please remember to give me a quick thumbs up and to subscribe if you haven't done so already. But that's it for this one, and I will see you for another one very soon. Bye for now.